Hey guys, hope you're all having an awesome day. So definitely doing a check-in. I do want to tell you guys some of the energies and stuff that's been going on. There has been a lot coming up, especially like over the weekend and today, which is Tuesday today. It's like especially strong. I started feeling it like before I even woke up. But there's a lot going on collectively today. A lot of emotions. I noticed this yesterday too, the last few days, almost like back to not feeling like yourself. If you're in the same cycle, you're, sensitive to energy, most likely you're aware of this. Not feeling quite like yourself. Definitely a lot of third eye stuff is going on again. So a lot of tingling and stuff, but it's almost like this disconnected sense of self. And it's almost like old energy mixing with new energy, mixing with collective energy. So there's a lot of different emotions coming up. There's almost like sadness. Like I actually was crying and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm crying. There's a lot of like anger. There's a lot of different feelings, a lot of fears coming up, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stuff from from below the surface coming up. So certain cycles and things that you're in to kind of bring to your awareness, to clear is coming up as well as like some of maybe behaviors and thought patterns and things like that are like a little bit deeper and stuff like that maybe you're not aware of that are coming up as well. There's a lot coming up with solar plexus chakra and heart chakra. So it has a lot to do with the way we see ourselves, the way we want other people to see us, our confidence, our self-esteem, all of that, but also the way we give love, the way we receive love, if we allow love in, if we don't allow love in, it's like we want, somebody to love us, we want somebody to care, we want people to validate us and things like that. But it's like, are we actually hearing it? Are we actually receiving it in the way that it's being given to us? Are we acknowledging it? Are we looking for more, is it our responsibility? Somebody else's? Like there's a lot with that type of stuff coming up. They're also saying there's a lot with like throat chakra coming up as well in communication. So your communication style, maybe some of you guys needing tweaking with the way you communicate stuff, coming from the place of I feel like this, or coming from a different place. Like if what you're trying to say, it almost feels like somebody's trying to say something, but like they keep trying to say it and like the other person isn't receiving it. Almost like you feel very unheard. Like you like somebody's just not hearing you, almost like you're not even talking, right? And they're saying try to tweak the way you're saying it or going about it. If the other person can't receive it, use your discernment. I'm not going to give you advice on that, but they're saying sometimes like the other person won't be able to receive it. So sometimes it's okay to give it a little bit of space and try to work on your own validation and stuff like that. As long as it's not like a normal occurrence and it's just maybe a situational thing, like kind of space from it a little bit and check in with your own stuff and your own ego. Spirit's saying a lot of ego stuff's coming up right now at this time. A lot of people's inner child is being triggered at this time to release and heal. They're showing me almost like an alligator. I'm not really sure the alligator reference, why they're showing me that. I don't know if maybe somebody asked for an alligator as a sign. Sometimes I'll get like a random thing and it's usually somebody's asking for a specific sign, but for some reason they're showing me an alligator with no message behind it. So I assume it's a sign for somebody. Yeah. Okay, let me pull some cards. That's kind of all they have given me right now. That's all they have. That's all they're giving me right now without the cards. So let's see what else we got. This deck I just was like, oh, I have to pull from here. Yeah, fears definitely I'm hearing like coming up. Like that. That. Okay, so we have, and they were actually saying dolphins may too. So we have inner voice right here. I'm getting like a lot of people are feeling disconnected from their intuition. Like that's intentional. If you're not feeling like super connected to your intuition right now, that's like intentional. But it's like Spirit saying like they're trying to help you hear like the things that have influenced you, the way you think, the way you process, the way you feel things. A lot of it has to do with your childhood. So they're like trying to help you with understanding the inner voice and the messages and the thoughts and the feelings and all that come up to help you see where it comes from, to help you kind of release things that are not helpful or things that are kind of blocking you or things like that. I'm also getting a lot of stuck energy, feeling kind of stuck, feeling uncomfortable in situations or feeling really uncertain about certain situations, feeling frustrated, feeling like sad and annoyed and things like that. And it just feels like maybe no movement or no change or something like that. But you're supposed to be stuck there. If you're stuck there, you could say a prayer and ask for an answer. If you're not getting one right now, you're supposed to be stuck there. And I just opened the deck and we got the healing. So there's definitely some type of, and they're saying inner child healing. Also, inner child meditation might be good if you're feeling like really emotional and stuck. Definitely, they're saying grounding and releasing. So depending on what your energy is in the moment, going outside is going to help you ground, like going in and walking barefoot, using like black tourmaline. Any black crystals will work for grounding. Any red crystals will work for grounding. You can use like clear quartz. Like I have optical calcite right here. You got selenite. Selenite's actually really good for clearing energy. So if you're looking to clear, both of those work for clearing energy. This works for clearing other people's energy especially, but they're recommending saltwater bath, like salt bath or going into the ocean. So if you have something, but cleansing like that and grounding, and they're saying you're going to need to be doing this over the next few days because a lot more stuff's going to be coming out and stuff. And they're showing me a bridge, but they're showing me like this wavy water underneath it. So there's definitely a lot going to be coming out. I'm not sure, like I'm getting a lot of emotionals and like deep, like heavy shit, like dark energy, not dark, bad, like negative, like heaviness, like sadness and stuff like that. All right, so we got ripeness, guilt, and exhaustion. This is like the top. It's almost feels like some of you guys are wanting some type of wish fulfillment, some type of happiness and things like that. But it's what I'm getting from Spirit is like self-sabotage. It's almost like you're scared to be happy and you don't even realize you're scared to be happy. And it feels like a cycle, kind of what I was talking about before. And I was telling you the things coming up. It's like this self-sabotaging cycle or this guilt where you say or do something and then you feel bad about it afterward or guilty about it, or you feel like shame about it or whatever it is. And it's like choices, behaviors, thoughts, all kinds of things they're saying. And it's like causing you to stay in this cycle, which is exhausting you. It's like frustrating. It's like, when is this going to change? I cannot sit in this very long. That's what that feels like. So we got isolation and stress. We got clinging to the past and friendliness. And we got turning in the creator. So it definitely feels like emotions. Like this feels like what I said earlier, like a lot of emotions and things coming up. Some of you guys feeling like maybe you can't handle it. It's almost like overwhelming emotions, like feeling this sense of pressure or overwhelming energy, not totally sure what to do. A lot of you guys are healing past stuff and it's bringing you to calmer, like they said new beginnings when I held this up. It's bringing calmer, it's almost bringing like calm communication. It's bringing softness in, it's bringing like repairing in relationships and friendships. It's bringing in other things, but you have to release the past. Some of you, it's like forgiving somebody for things that have been said or done. And some of you is forgiving yourself for things that you've maybe said and done. Some of you pushing people away too prematurely or things like that. Self-sabotaging behaviors where you're kind of scared. It feels like a lack of awareness in these situations. Obviously, this is not going to be for everybody or every single situation, but like a lack of self-awareness or something where it's like you didn't realize you were pushing somebody away or you didn't realize like what you were doing. And it feels like some of you guys are going to have some type of communication. It might not be actually communicating, like verbally talking to somebody. It could be like a text or an email or just like a message. It could also be too, is like dreams and you're communicating, like your souls are meeting up and stuff like that to kind of clear or heal something. I feel like as I say that, like this disclaimer, like this, not that message is not for everybody. If it's like an unhealthy relationship or patterns or toxic behaviors or things that like you find just completely unacceptable and do not match with your values, like you can accept somebody's apology, you can squash it, but it doesn't mean you have to allow somebody back into your life just because of that. And I'm not sure, I definitely feel like somebody needs to hear that for some reason. Like the energy I'm getting from Spirit is like somebody needs to hear, probably more than one person needs to hear that, like you can love somebody and you can care about somebody, but like if they keep repeating something or they're doing something that's harmful to you or something that like fucks with you and not in a healthy way, or they're doing it with the intention to fuck with you or out of their ego or whatever, it's like it's okay to love them. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to care about them. It's okay to miss them. It's okay for all of these things. That's part of the grieving process, right? But it's like you can accept that. You can understand where they're coming from, but it does not mean you have to allow them back in your life or back into your space, especially if it's a pattern. Like, they're really specific, especially if it's a pattern, because if it's a pattern, you already know that this is going to continue, and people can say whatever the fuck they want to say, but it's like, at some point, sometimes it's like those opportunities have passed and you've already grown, and like, it's, time to move on from that. So if you're struggling with this right now, or you're feeling this, like, take time, be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and just know that, like, you don't have to feel guilty for not giving somebody access to you. Like, you do not have to feel guilty if you need to cut people out of your life and do what's good for you. You do not need to feel guilty about that. That's okay. And like, I know, because I struggle with this too. So for whoever's going through this, like, you're definitely not alone. Like, I hope you know that other people go through the same thing and stuff like that. Reach out to a support or somebody who, can maybe help you with that, because I know sometimes it's really hard going through that. And I know, especially like if you've struggled with relationship stuff or chaos in your home, or, lack of really an upbringing that allowed you to understand how relationships work and feelings, and you're trying to, be in healthy relationships, there's a lot of times where we have extra stuff we have to deal with because we didn't learn that. And then we deal with extra layers of like guilt, shame, feelings of, whatever, worthy, all this shit. So with turning in the creator, a lot of you guys, I'm getting, take time to process your feelings, like whether that's meditation or journaling or something like that. Take time to process your feelings. It's going to help you clear some energy, and it's going to help you to connect to yourself a little bit better. There's definitely this, I've been getting this message for, I think, the last week about introspection for people. Is like taking time to really reflect on your emotions and feelings, and you're going to understand yourself better, and you're going to start understanding things like differently. I know that happened for me actually today, because I thank Spirit for that, because they pull stuff up, but I always take the time to like process and shit like that, because I'm way too much with needing to understand everything. So when I don't understand, it drives me mental. But yeah, definitely like a period of reflection. You want one more of that? That's it. Okay, we got money, find a way to abundance. We got owls in a few of these. So owls might be significant. You might be seeing owls. Owls sometimes are seeing like shadows or bringing awareness to stuff. Sometimes they're your intuition. Sometimes, which we got the owl full, your intuition card. And sometimes it's Spirit giving you messages. I love this. Blaze your own trail. A lot of you I'm getting too from Spirit is like you're finding who you are. Like you might be feeling like lost and stuck, and you're not really sure who you are, or you're kind of struggling because of everything that's going on. But like a lot of you guys are actually going deeper and deeper and deeper and finding who you are. So if old shit's coming up that you thought you felt like already, or you released or dealt with, like some of it's just deeper shit coming up to see how it influences you currently, like certain things that you maybe haven't dealt with, and that, not that you're ignoring it, but like almost like repressed, suppressed stuff. So yeah. Okay, you got Owl, follow your intuition. Battle of the Blues, take steps toward positive change. 7 heavenly virtues, keys to goodness. Yeah, we got a lot of like emotional cards. We got a lot of sadness. It definitely feels like I said, some of you guys, it feels like your intuition's blocked, or it's not as strong as it used to be, or certain situations are being blocked. But like, if something is not right for you, you are knowing that. Like if something is not good for you, you're feeling that. Even with all the other stuff going on, like you intuitively know what is good for you or what isn't. So there's something with that, like making changes that are good for you. Like it almost feels like some of you have two choices, and it's like, you know something's not right for you, but it almost feels like very ego-ish. Like you want to go, like, I'll give you an example, like a job. Like your intuition is like, this job really isn't for me. Could be a relationship, but I'm more so getting like job stuff from Spirit than anything. And we got the money card on the bottom. It's like this job or this, financial situation or whatever isn't right for me. But then like the ego steps in. It's like, well, people will be proud of me, or I'll be proud of myself, or I'll look this way, or I'll, be able to like live the way I want to, or I'll have more money, or, whatever. But it's like, that's a very societal conditioning type way of living. And if you go into what you actually want in your heart, you're going to know that that's going to make you happier than money. Because if you're in a job that you're fucking miserable at, and you're making all the money you want in the world, you're having to deal with shit probably 5 days a week that like you don't want to deal with. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of what Spirit's saying. And it feels like some of you guys are kind of struggling with that. If you're not ready to make a choice, don't make the choice right now. You don't need to. Like, if you're not ready to make a choice, don't. But like Spirit's saying, like, try to step in the positive direction. What I'm also getting from Spirit is try to go into your childlike energy, trying to go into the magical energy, doing things that maybe you enjoyed as a kid, or something like fun, something that can just bring out like your inner child and like just give some happiness, because there's so much shit going on right now. So like definitely something with that. Like I was hanging out with my friend, and like they put on this show. It's called Tiny Creatures, I think the show is called. I thought it, or Tiny World, and I was like, what the fuck are you putting on? And then I saw the show, I was like, oh my god, it's a bunch of like little small animals. I'm like, I kind of want to go get some, like, I did end up not doing it, but I'm like, I kind of want to go get some Twizzlers and just like chill out like a little kid. But I chilled out like a little kid. I didn't eat all the shit though, but it kind of was like, just felt good to like this lighthearted energy to watch something that was just kind of like chill and just like this cute little cute little animals. But that brings out my excitement and stuff like that. Even like blowing bubbles and shit brings out my excitement most of the time, unless I'm in a weird mood. So it's like things like that, things that maybe you enjoyed like as a kid, or go watch like a kid movie or something like that, something that's like lighthearted fun or gives you kind of that liberation. Okay, we got trust, recovery, and if you believe. Whew. This feels like some energy. So kind of what I'm getting from Spirit is like something you wanted, something you've desired, and things like that. And it's like a lot of you guys have lost trust and faith in it. It's like it didn't happen. Your feelings have changed. Something's shifted, or maybe you're seeing something different, or a lot of you, it feels like the ego is just like, I'm fucking giving up, because it's like almost too hard to want it or keep pushing for it or keep desiring it. Almost just feels like this defeated energy. A lot of you guys are like not in the energy of where you were before. Not that you're not going to get back to that, because I feel like most of you guys are going to get back to that, but it's like in that process of you moving away from that, you're going through a lot of healing, and you're going through clearing, and you're going through releasing. And with the recovery card, it's like finding yourself. This is what I'm getting from Spirit, is like finding yourself, self-awareness, things like that, that when the thing that you want comes in, like you're going to have the tools to make it a success and to make it stable and a good foundation. So it's like, you don't have to sit there and focus on it or believe it's going to happen. Like one day it's just miraculously going to pop up, and you're going to be like, oh, okay. And maybe it will, mean a lot to you. Maybe it won't. Maybe you'll be surprised. Maybe you won't, maybe it's going to look a little different and a little bit better than you wanted it to. But there's something about like having faith and trusting with those cards. Like that. Okay. We got spiritual strength on the bottom with the waiting game. Kind of what I just said. It feels like definitely something's taking a long time. It feels like some of you guys are in just a long cycle, and you're just like, when is this going to be fucking done? Like a lot of you seem like you do realize that you're growing strength, or you realize you're becoming more self-aware, or you're changing things, but it still feels like resistance and a struggle, which that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but it does. It feels like this resistance or this struggle of certain things not coming for you, or things that you desire or stuff like that. And like you are growing through it, but it can be painful for sure. So you got spiritual strength, foundations and achievements, and transformation. We get transformation every fucking time. Then we got spiritual union and love begins. So this is like, it feels like definitely the divine masculine and feminine energy on the outsides, but it also feels like ascended masters as well. It feels like you have a lot of ascended masters coming through and some archangels coming through with this energy, even though obviously that's not what the cards mean. But it feels like, yeah, you guys are learning to grow into your intuition. I'm hearing like a lot of you are healing like family conditioning. You're healing a lot of family issues at this time. So there might be changes within your family stuff. There might be triggers or towers within family situations. Some of you who even have friends who are like family, there might be some shifts. They're showing me a lot of shifts right now, a lot of changes right now. So it definitely feels really uncomfortable for a lot of people. It might be causing you to be afraid or scared or fear, stuff like that, especially if you feel out of control or you feel like you're not really sure what's going on. I feel you on that. I can't stand that. So like I totally feel you on that one. it's a growing process, right? I think I've gotten to the place where I'm like accepting, like, no, I fucking hate that stuff. And it's part of who I am, and that's okay, you know? We don't like the discomfort, but we all feel it. So, yeah, but it feels like, yeah, you guys are growing into something. They're kind of not fully telling me what it is. I'm not totally sure why, but it definitely feels like there's a foundation. Through this, like, you're growing spiritual strength, and you're growing as a human and a soul, and you're transforming, and it's almost like you don't even see the transformation that's going on, but you're actually building a solid foundation, which I love. I think that's awesome. We got spiritual union and love begins. I'm hearing new beginnings for some of you guys. I'm hearing relationships for some of you guys. It's like that promised start is coming is what I'm getting for some of you. I don't know why I started coughing when I said that. Some of you might be communication issues. They're like, yeah. Definitely. Okay. Wow. And as I say that, my third eye is going crazy, and I almost feel like I'm being blocked for some reason. I'm hearing fears with stuff, like old fears coming up. All I'm hearing with this is like new beginnings, like promised starts, new beginnings, and like balanced emotions, like balanced love, balanced emotions, equal, like equality of reciprocity. This could be like a new relationship. Some of you, this could be friendship. Some of you, this can be, no, they're saying just that. I was going to say something else and they're saying just that. So we're going to leave that alone. And I guess that's what we're getting. And if, you know, your intuition says something else, then take what your intuition says. And we're going to pull das from here. And if you guys do want to book a reading, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram, Gaia Spiritual Healing. And I do them in person in Spring Hill, Florida, if you're local, or I do them through video chat. So, okay, we got balance and passion right here. If you guys want to purchase my Earth Angel Oracle deck, any of the links in all my bios have it, or you could just send me a message too. Because I might be able to get the shipping cheaper. The one thing does automatic shipping, but I might actually be able to get it cheaper. So yeah, you can always message me if you want, or you can just go to the website and order it. But definitely, I'm telling you, there's something with like doing things that are like fun and liberating. A lot of you guys, your emotions and feelings in your life feels very imbalanced, like unbalanced, imbalance. I always never know what the word is. Imbalance, I think. It's like, it feels like it's like this. It's going to level out. It might be a little bit of time before it levels out because you're doing a lot of deep ass work. And I've been telling you foundation the whole time, and we got the foundation card. There's definitely a lot with the foundation being built. Okay. Oof. And we got the enjoyment card. So there's definitely a lot with this. We got spiritual guidance, illusions, and enjoyment. And then we got release and foundation. So I feel like this is literally what I've been talking about the entire reading. Okay, and I told you there's a lot of Ascended Masters and a lot of spirit guides and archangels that are working with you. You might not totally be feeling them coming through as they are, but they are definitely like working with you, and they're showing me them like standing behind people and like watching over you and guiding you. And some of the emotions and shit that you're feeling pressure with and all this stuff, they're actually they're sending you energy to pull shit up, like to actually release stuff. Oof. Okay, what I'm getting is there's a lot of illusions coming up. There's a lot of ego chatter coming up. There's a lot of shit coming up right now for you to clear, but it's like for you to see through certain things. So everything you're seeing and feeling right now is not accurate. They're really specific on this. Clarity will come at the right time, but everything you're feeling and seeing right now is not total truth and is not totally accurate. You are going through this because you need to. What it looks like is almost like a bubble, like a 3 to 6 months period if you're in this cycle, and this resonates with you. It might not resonate with everybody. It looks like a 3 to 6 month period of like almost like this void energy where it's like they're showing me like movies where it's like all this emotions, feelings, thoughts, shit's coming up, even words being said, like all this stuff in front of you is coming up, right? But none of it's fucking true. None of it's true. It's like this is all to clear. This is all for awareness. This is all to build a solid foundation, but all to like release like so much stuff and past life stuff, karmic contracts, like all kinds of shit. But they're saying like, yeah, we know it's difficult. Like we know that it's triggering like the shit out of you. And they're showing me like people crying and getting angry and frustrated and feeling just like helpless and feeling like they just can't get an out. Like It's like you're trying to walk forward and something's just pushing you back. But they're saying try to find the fun in it. Try to find your strength in it. Try to find the positive. Instead of looking toward the future of like, when this happens, I'm going to be happy. Try to find those happy moments now. And it might be hard, especially when you're going through a lot of stuff, but try to find 1 or 2 moments every day where you can say, you know what, I'm going to do something for myself for 10 minutes and I'm going to fucking enjoy it for this 10 minutes. And I'm going to force myself to enjoy it for this 10 minutes, you know, like, I don't mean be like that, but I'm just saying, and this also says embracing your inner child. So there's definitely, I told you a lot about that. I love when we keep getting the same messages. A lot of you guys are releasing so much stuff. I know we talk about this a lot, but like you're releasing so much stuff, and that's why it's taking so long. That's why it feels so heavy and stuff, especially the people who are actively doing it. You know, sometimes people are doing it subconsciously and they're so busy in their lives, they don't even realize what's going on. But the people who are like super self-aware and like dealing with it, it almost feels like sometimes too much. And it's like, is this ever going to end? Is this ever going to end? You are building a strong foundation. And yeah, it might be a little bit longer and stuff like that, but try to find those moments of enjoyment. Try to find the good in the situations. Try to find the happiness in the situations. Like, I'm definitely getting a lot of people are feeling stuck. Like, if you're feeling stuck, try to do something that's fun, that you can distract yourself. Like, you know, it's okay to distract yourself. It's okay to do, you know, shit, like to let loose and not like worry about stuff. Like, go do something that brings you happiness. You know, go to like a bounce house place. Go do something that's fun, like a theme park, or something that like is going to give you that sense of freedom, that's going to help you get like out of your head and out of your mind and shit like that a little bit. And like, go do something that's just fun. Whatever is fun to you, that's going to bring some type of enjoyment and excitement. And you might go back to feeling like shit. You might go back to feeling emotional or whatever you're feeling. But it's like trying to find those little moments and trying to find those little things of happiness where you're like, you know what, I'm going to have a little snack and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to sit in the moment and really enjoy the moment and appreciate and be like, man, this is so good. You know, whatever. Try to find those little moments of happiness and peace. So I hope that this message helped, and I'm wishing you guys so much love and light, and I hope you all have an awesome day.